Hello, 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 leaders. It's our GG Culture Call, and the time change just happened, and we're all feeling just so bright and ready to go on a Monday. I'm trying to say this in faith. I know a little bit of this. Um, we are so blessed to announce that we have a guest speaker on our call today. It's Autumn Swanhart. And you guys, if you were, Stephanie and I are like huge fans. If number one, if you were at Super Saturday in person or watched online, you heard Autumn share from the stage. She looked just so classy. Every word that came out of her mouth was full of posture and grace. She is an Emerald ambassador here in Plexus Worldwide. And it just goes to show you guys, there is growth happening here. And through 2025, I know that's when Autumn, I believe, was turned into that Emerald Ambassador and hit one of those top ranks in our company. But there is a huge movement happening right now of momentum. And our CEO and our president, with what they're seeing with numbers, they just firmly believe the rank ups are gonna be coming, both for you and the people in your lives. And it's because of this whole GLP-1 combo system. People are learning to work with our products. That system is not magic. It does support GLP-1 hormones, but you guys, the number one tip is this. We're encouraging people, don't snack in between meals. Stop snacking after dinner and move your body a little bit every day. When they do that, along with supporting their GLP-1 hormones, guess what? They're in. With all the support from the support group that has 10,000 people in it, I heard news and I'm going to share it with you now. It's a 4-week group, but we've already decided that there's going to be another 4-week group right after it. So get your people in now. They're going to need support for at least 90 days on this system. And I'm going to hush my mouth because we're 3 minutes in and we got to hear from Autumn. I basically put it into her court. I was like, everything you shared at Super Saturday was like, well, literally, she could share that again. And I feel like we would be so strengthened. But Autumn, Stephanie and I loved meeting you and hanging out with you and dancing with you in Cancun. If you were on this call a little bit early, like Stephanie was, do you want to just tell people really quick about Autumn? Because, see, Autumn, we just love you.
Well, so I'm new. So everyone to me is a new person to meet, and I feel blessed to meet them. I have no idea if they're feeling the same way. Like, I'm new. Well, this Stephanie, I don't know. But when I met Autumn, she will always have a markable imprint and impression on me because I knew of her from Super Saturday. So to me, she's like this big wig, like, oh my gosh, it's this honor to meet Autumn. She treated me like she is my peer. She treated me just with so much kindness and excitement. She genuinely seemed happy to meet me. And it blessed me. I felt like, wow, these are my people. It wasn't intimidating. Then Autumn, we saw each other throughout the next couple days, and it was like, girlfriend. And then, of course, at the end of the party, we all just celebrated together and made such great memories. And I'm really grateful for the friendship I have with you, Autumn. I hope all of you ladies maybe take the time, reach out, find her on social media, and friend her. Yeah.
Thanks, Steph. Okay, take it
Okay.
away, Autumn.
Oh,
We'll do it
what the
ourselves.
heck am I supposed to say after all of that? You guys have me like teary-eyed and chills over here. Like that's super humbling. That's very sweet of you guys. Um, and it's just so crazy because really I am no different than every single one of you on this call. I was actually just fangirling myself. I was telling, so one of our diamonds, so this is just side note, guys. One of our diamonds, she was Sapphire at the time. It was the first retreat I had earned on my own. She spoke on stage and Kinley Severns. And I just fell in love with her. It was my first time at one. I was November, December, January. I was 3 months in. She spoke. I was like, ah. And then we went and had a photo shoot. They asked for people to have a photo shoot on the beach, and she was there. And I'm like, I need to get near her. Her energy, yes. So like as you're talking, that's what I'm thinking. But so it's a full circle moment. But really, guys, it can be in any of us. We are all the same. We all have the same resources, the same capabilities. What what I spoke a lot about on Super Saturday is mindset and momentum. And it really makes a difference. So to go into my story a little bit, I started November 2023. I went on leaders retreat with my mom, who had just started, I think, in July, and she earned the trip. She did not want to go. I'm a boutique owner as well, and I'm a nurse and I'm a boutique owner. I'm at work today at the spa. And I did not want to go. It was November, my daughter's birthday's in December. It was craziness. My husband's like, go. And I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the company. I fell in love with the products. I was just like in awe of everything. Um, and so I added my first VIP there in the middle of the ocean. I had no idea what I was doing. I ordered, my sub went through. I was so angry that my sub went through. My mom quickly turned it off. I had the 2 bags in the corner of my closet, was not taking them, knew nothing about the products, but hearing them talk on stage, that's when Slim got the US patent and Dr. Hartman was up there. So as a nurse, I was like, okay. And then, you're at dinner and you're like sitting on top of each other at dinner. And I had one woman on this side of me telling me how the doctors couldn't figure out what was going on. And they hit her. All that to say, I was like, all right, let's do it. And I knew nothing. I just knew I was excited and I wanted to take everybody with me. And I went Fast Start Gold that first month. And then by February, so Leaders Retreat was in February, I ended up ranking Senior Gold in February. And then March, I hit Ruby. And I was like, all right, guys, like, we're great. We're golden. I'm going to coast now. I got a little team under me. And I said this Super Saturday, there is no such thing as just coasting and sitting back. And so for me, I'm a nurse, but I was a regional manager for a dialysis company for 10 years. So in my mind, I would develop teams and then I would be like, okay, they know what they're doing. Now I move on to the next thing. No, that was not how this worked at all. um, so I ranked Ruby in March. I keep a sheet of all of my numbers just so I can explain it to you because it's huge. So I was 568 points in March. April, I immediately didn't re-rank. I was down to 456 points. And one of the things that happened is one of my business builders added somebody. She went senior silver her first month, and then her and her entire team, all 9 of her people, ghosted us the next month. And it rocked my world. I didn't know, like, I was like, what? Who does that? And she was bummed and I was bummed. And we kind of just sat in that instead of like it took a lot of growth and a lot of mindset change because obviously stuff like that happens all the time. Like if I'm being honest, I had a senior gold when I went emerald. She went senior gold and she's done. And I could very easily be like, oh my gosh, why did she do that? And oh, this sucks. But that's not helping me and it's not helping the customers that are still here. And there are people out there who need this and want this. So I've just learned you have to, okay, it's fine. Maybe they'll come back around. If not, that's okay too. I'm just going to keep on pushing. So I went from 568 in March. I got all the way down in August. I was at 145 points. So in March, I was a ruby. In August, I was a gold. Leaders Retreat contest started in September. I was like, okay, I got to put in a little hustle here. I want to earn the next retreat. I went from 145 to 85. I had a 20-point growth. And I had this mindset of it's fine. I'll earn it. It's fine. And then my points just kept getting worse and worse. Then it was 176 and 137. And then December, I was like, oh boy, I need to really work. I want to go on this trip. And I got up to 193 points and I earned the trip. But by the time I earned the trip, I got the congratulatory email and everything. And I was crying and telling my husband, oh my gosh, I did it. And then a few days later, I got another email stating, we're so sorry, but the cruise filled up. We'll put you on the wait list. And guys, I was ready until like the week before. It gives me the chills still. The week before to let go. If they would have said like the day before, hey, we have a spot, I would have been like, let's go, because I was that excited. And it was in that moment where I was like, okay, I can either continue to sit and sulk or I can do something about it because this is not working. So I ended January. January, it was my worst month ever because I was just mentally so bummed out that I missed. And I was 118 points. 118 points in January. So then February, everybody went to leaders retreat and I was like, all right, guys, you guys are going to be there enjoying the cruise. I'm going to work. I got the time off already. I'm just going to put in work. And I worked my little tushy off. And I'm like, I'm going to push no matter what, push. I went from 118 in January to 182 in February, which is higher than I had been in all of the contest months. And then March, a little better, 216. Then May, I finally re-ranked Senior Ruby. I was at 350 in May. But May was very special. May, I also earned Silver Star. I think I had added maybe one or two silvers, and they reached out and they're like, hey, you're in the running for Silver Star. And I'm like, what is this? What do I need to do? And when you give me a goal like that, I'm very like, I go all in. And they're like, well, between your levels 1 through 4, if you can get silvers, like as many silvers, the most silvers you get to come to corporate and we'll spoil you. And I'm like, okay. And my diamond Marianne, she's like, Autumn, just go for 10. Go for 10. And that way you're gonna get it. And I was like, okay. And that really helped me like stay hyper focused and just go all in. And so I got 10 silvers between my levels 1 through 4. I think I had like 4 level 1s, 2 level 2s, 2 level 3s, and a level 4, something like that. But I got 10 silvers. And that is where my business really took off. And I still now, so as I'm building, I'm working on retention, I'm working on getting new people, but then I'm also working on getting those new people silver because I just saw how impactful that is to your business. So then by July, I re-ranked Ruby. I was 546. And then in August, it was like I had a steady climb. Then August, I was up to 620. I earned Icon. I think July is when they started the Icon contest. And then I earned it the following month in August. I'm about to earn it this month too, guys. You got to push, push, push. And then September, I went from 620 in August to 813 in September, Senior Ruby. And guys, I'm telling you these numbers not to be like, oh, look at me. I'm telling you these numbers because I want you to see you can go from 118 points in January to Emerald. Like you can do it. And I get the chill saying that, but this is why I'm telling you my exact numbers. So then I ranked Senior Ruby in September. October, I actually took a little bit of a dip. October, I was down to 778 points. But then come November, we had been creating this momentum. We had been pushing. We had started messenger parties, and I'll touch on that in a moment. And I just felt something that month. And I reached out to Marianne and Joanne, my upline, and I was like, all right, I'm in my kitchen cooking dinner, and I feel like God's saying, go for it. Is 166 orders to Emerald crazy? And of course, Marianne's like, no, girl, if you set your mind to it, you can do anything. And I'm like, I'm really feeling it. Like, let's go. So I went from 778 points in October to 1,562 points in November. We doubled points in 1 month, 1 month. But we created that momentum month after month. My team, like we have a really tight knit group. I get that vibe from you guys too. We have a really tight knit group. We support each other. We encourage each other. We're there for each other, not just about the business, but about life and praying for each other, for our kids and all the things. So I had a team that was bought in. We created the momentum. And I actually joined our team call the beginning of November. And one of the Emeralds said that she was doing messenger parties, and messenger parties were really working for her. And I'll be honest, messenger parties were always a flop for me. like a flop. I would get like nothing, and it was like a waste of time. And I heard her and I was really inspired. I'm like, okay, what's there to lose? Let's give it a try. So I had a new silver who I think she had just went silver at the end of October. And we had her sister-in-law, who I'm also friends with, host a party. And then from that party, we had her cousin host a party. And then from that party, we had one of we had like her three people who ordered, they all hosted a party. And then from each of those parties, somebody hosted a party. And I was like 5 levels deep. I remember calling Marianne and I'm like, I don't know if this is selfish or not. I know I'm going for Emerald. I'm getting so deep that the points aren't really like, it's not doing a lot for me, but I want to help them. Like, is it worth still focusing my energy? And she's like, yes, girl, go deep and go wide, as deep as you can. But we got deep. And that silver went from silver to senior gold, and she earned a silver star in November just for messenger parties. And so I always get people saying, okay, I was the same as you. Messenger parties, they're just flops for me. Like, what did you do differently? And the three key things is one, connection. So I know this doesn't always happen in an ideal world, and I get it. But ideally, if you can have the hostess start three-way chats before the party, that is super helpful. And when they do that, I just have them say something like, hey, Samantha, this is my friend Autumn. She'll be hosting the party tonight. I just wanted you to say hi. That way tonight, if you have any questions, you can just hop back here and ask her. And at that point, I'm not talking plexus. Oh my goodness, how do you guys know each other? Oh, you went to high school together? Where are you from again? Oh, and you have kids? Oh my gosh, I have kids that age too. I'm just working on building a connection with them. And we were talking about this at the beginning of the call. Like that just really fills my cup anyway. Like it's genuine when I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just love it. So you're building that connection. And then I'm going into the chat and I'll say the same thing. Like before, when I would do messenger parties, it was like, nobody type anything extra. We don't want their phones blowing up. And I flipped that super quick once I noticed that it actually is more impactful to engage within the party. So I'll usually ask them, or I'll say a lot of like, our girl. Like, I want them to know I'm in this with them. I don't want it to be some like, strict like corporate lingo thing. Like, she's my friend too. She's your friend. We're all helping our friend. And so I'll talk a lot. I'll be like, oh my gosh, guys, our girl Bridget, she is just the cutest. I know that she appreciates all of you guys being in here and supporting her. You're the best. Where's everybody from? Let's call it out. Or how do you know Bridget? And I'll try to get them talking. Now, again, sometimes I'm just talking to myself. I'm talking to myself, but if we can get them talking, I always know when we're going to have a good party because people are engaging and people are interacting and we're talking I'll put some polls in there like, all right, let me know if any of these resonate with you and we'll engage. And then the second thing is having the expectation that it's going to work. We know realistically not everyone is going to work, but if you go into these parties like, oh my gosh, these things suck, like this isn't going to work, why am I doing this? You have to go in there like, okay, we're going to make the best of it, we're going to bring the energy, we're going to create some momentum, we're getting at least one order today and one party booked. That's our goal, and just create the excitement. That matters. It really, really does matter. And then the third thing I focus on is duplication. So we want at least one order from every party, and we want at least one party booked from every party. That's how I got so deep. And I keep it super simple. When someone would order, I would say, oh my gosh, Amanda, thank you so much for ordering and supporting Bridget. I know she really appreciates it. Would you do her a huge favor and host a party like this for her? I will do everything for you. All you do is invite your friends. It's really not even that long what I send. I just keep it super sweet. I personally, this can be controversial, but I personally don't mention money. I don't mention any of that when I'm asking them to host a party, because then they're like, oh, well, I don't need money. I don't need my products covered. It's fine. and they're less likely to do it because they, you know, us, we all put ourselves on the back burner. But if I'm saying, hey, can you help out your friend? Then they're more likely to say, yeah, okay, I'm going to help Bridget out. I'll do it for Bridget. I might not do it for me, but I'll do it for Bridget. And then I'm laughing at myself because I don't know how ethical this is, but we get them at it, like we get the party started, we get everyone at it, and then I'll go back and be like, oh, by the way, Amanda, I just wanted to let you know, if 3 friends happen to order tonight, then you're gonna get $300, girl. So just make sure you're available. That way, if we need to share a car, I'm gonna walk you through sharing a car. They would recommend too, like showing them how to share a cart ahead of time. I'll be honest, I didn't do that because I didn't want to like freak them out beforehand. Like, oh my gosh, I gotta do what? We just figured it out as we went along. But as long as they were available, heck, I had one of my girls 2 nights ago. I think her hostess went to sleep, and she was she was still getting them signed up under her. She's like, send me your info, we'll get it done. Um, but it really it makes the biggest difference. And then you're doing that over and over and over. And for these girls who they just saw a successful party, and now they're bringing that same energy to their party because they're like, oh, well, this is how hers was done. This is what we're going to do too. And those parties where we went that deep, all of those girls, because it was like I said, it was like a sister-in-law, then a cousin, then a best friend, and then like another sister. Like they were all very close. And when I was saying, hey, can you start 3 ways beforehand? They already knew. They're like, oh yeah, just like you started a 3-way with me in autumn before yours. Okay. Like we set up that expectation. Now, again, not everybody will set them up. If they don't set them up, then you just do what you do the best you can. If they don't set them up before, then try to get them set up after. I'll usually post a poll at the end. So as people are responding to the poll, I'll say, hey, start a 3-way, start a 3-way. I've also had, like, I have a business builder right now who's going for senior silver, and she joined a party of someone who's not even a VIP. My best friend, she's like a bodybuilder. She did not, she has her stuff. I'm like, all right, bestie. Well, I'm going for a big goal. I need you. And she was too busy. I said, you got to use the bathroom. When you're on the toilet, send me, like, add people in the group. I'm not even joking. And she did. And I got a business builder from it. So for those, she wanted nothing to do with it. I just reached out to everyone on my own and engaged. And I got like 3 orders. She would have went silver. I got 3 orders from her party. And then I think the other biggest thing is there would be nights where I was getting no responses back. A lot of times they'll trickle in the next day. Also, just not all of them are going to be successful, and I think we go in expecting everything to be great, and we're going in with that momentum, but also don't be discouraged if you have one and it's not successful. Like we were having 5 to 6 parties a night. We had 55 parties in November, and we were having like 5 or 6 parties a night some nights, and it was pure chaos. And I might had 2 where I got VIPs, and then the other 4 we got nobody. And but I say that because I've seen girls to where they'll have a messenger party and they're like, oh my gosh, it wasn't good. That just means you need to do more, honey. That's all. Just do more, honestly. Like fill them up. Hold on, I see some questions coming in. I can get over there. When you're talking the party or using videos, so I typically try to do videos, like I'll record myself and I'll say, you know, welcome to so and so's party. Thank you so much for being here. And then I'll record myself at the end too, just thanking everyone. And I try and say over and over, thanks for supporting friend's name over and over and over. So I usually will try and do videos. Heck, I told you I'm a boutique owner. I was doing a market and I was in my car, like recording videos and posting like outside of a market one night. Are you approaching people to host a party even if they aren't a customer? Yes. I'm approaching VIPs. I'm approaching brand ambassadors. I'm approaching friends. I'm approaching mama, sister, grandma, anybody who has a Facebook. I'm approaching. And we actually had it too, to where we had this happen a couple times where the hostess wasn't necessarily interested. And she's like, okay, sure, I'll host a party. But then once they see all their friends are interested, they want to hop on the train with them. So there were many nights where we would get 4 orders. The hostess would order after not even planning to order. And then we would get her silver with her 3 friends, like in one night, literally. And then did you ask the party host to open 3 ways? So I usually will ask them to do the 3 ways. It's best if it comes from the hostess themselves. So I'll say, can you start a 3 way? And you say X, Y, and Z. Um, that does that always happen? No. If they're not starting the 3 ways, then I'll start the 3 way and I'll throw her in. I think another reason why it's helpful to have the hostess start it is because then it's not going to the other bot like inbox, you know what I mean, where they're like hidden in Messenger. So I really do try to get them. And then if not, I'll go in the chat and be like, hey, Kim, I just sent you a message, check it. And we have our perfect world scenarios. We know when they work best, but we also know that not everyone's going to do what we ask them to do. So you just have to really make the best of it. And I mean, that is just what worked for me. We were actually talking about this today in my leadership team with Marianne. There is no secret sauce. There is no say this message and you are going to go emerald. There is no do everything Autumn just did. Everybody has their own thing. And it depends on your team. It depends on the momentum. It depends. And Jordan Jordan Roddenberry spoke on one of our calls, and she says, I'll just throw spaghetti at a wall and see what sticks. And that stuck with me because it's so true. We never know what's going to work and what's not. So try everything. What matters, like messenger parties might not be your thing. And that's okay. Maybe in-person parties are, or maybe just I don't know. Like that might not be your thing. But what makes a difference for every single one of us is one, believing in yourself, being positive, not getting stuck in the rut. We're gonna have days, and like I told you, but October I had a dip from where I was. And if I would have sat in that, I would not have went emerald. But I'm like, okay, we're gonna keep pushing and we're gonna do the dang thing. And your team is going to follow whatever you're saying and doing. So if you're bummed, they're going to feel that. Even if you don't think they are, they're going to feel that. If you're excited and you're like, all right, guys, we got this, it's okay, they're going to feel that. And when that happens to them, how you react, like when my senior gold had her senior silver quit, I was right there with her, like, what? Oh, this is horrible. Had I at that time been like, it's okay, girl, it happens, we're going to keep pushing, and coached her through it, we probably wouldn't have dropped like we did. But you learn and you grow, right? So keep pushing, stay positive, create that momentum. Do not be discouraged when things aren't going great. It's going to happen. Expect it. Expect it. Expect the VIPs to quit. Expect brand ambassadors to quit. Expect things not to go great. And do we want that to happen? No, of course not. But it helps you bounce back knowing, okay, this could happen, but it's okay because we're just going to look for somebody else who needs these products or somebody else who needs these opportunities. And that's one thing when I'm at Leaders Retreat and I'm looking around, I'm sorry, someone's trying to call me a bill collector or a loan thing. When I am looking around at everybody there, it's just like what I was saying. We're all the same, and we can all do this. And I look around like, man, I wish I could have someone like that on my team. But then it fires me up to be like, I bet you I can find someone like that within my own network. Like we're all out there. There are people who need this and want this. We just have to be willing to bring the passion and the fire and the consistency. And it's 3:30, so I'll hush up. I could keep on going all day if you guys let me.
That was just so down to earth, you guys, was it not? I mean, from what I hear from you, Autumn, is literally over the last 8 years, especially meeting Jules and being like, tell me your story. How did you get to Emerald? It's always always I failed forward. I didn't give up. I went back in points and then I kept going and I decided to figure it out. I decided to figure it out. I found the grit to figure it out. It's everyone's story. And the failing forward part can be really, really humbling. I love that Autumn, you were like, messenger parties might not be for you. How do we know if they are or not for us if we haven't given them a really, really solid, good go? I mean, what would you say, Autumn? I kind of want to, I know we got to let you go, let us all
You're
go here.
good.
But like, how long would you give it for a messenger party thing? Would you say the 90-day rule? Like, work on it until you figure it out? Or,
I mean, yeah. Yeah, and even if if you're having parties and if you're getting anybody, like honestly, that's a win. That's one extra person that you're blessing. You know what I mean? And what I think about is had I not tried it, had I kept that same mindset and thinking that, oh, these things are no good, this is a waste of time, I would probably be still sitting around 700 points right now. I would have never hit Emerald. And with me, that's another thing I love. When we grow, our whole team grows. I had a senior ruby, I had a bunch of senior golds, I have a gold, and they all rose with me, and I get more excited even about them rising up than I do myself. But like BK said, you're not going to know until you try it. Try it, and then you'll figure it out.
we're so grateful for every minute of your time. I see one more question down here. Do you give away anything during your parties? And
Yes, good question. I do. So I'll usually put on there a cash giveaway. I don't say how much. And that's only because I was doing $5. Because when you're doing so many like I was doing a lot of parties,
yeah,
I was just giving away $5. But when when I was doing it, like we would do a cup or we would do, just something fun.
yeah.
And I'll be honest though, if there was an engagement, I add them on there if they're engaging. If there's zero engagement, then nobody is going on there. And then I'll announce, oh, this person ordered, they went in 10 times, they're going in 10 times. And okay, now this person ordered, your friend only needs one more to go silver. Who wants to help? And then you'll get mama and grandma coming in. Okay, I'll help her go silver. And it makes a difference.
I heard connection and relationship over every single bit of this call. Did you guys? Oh my goodness. No weirdness, no crazy expert. Just help your friend. You're my girl. You guys, we can do this. You are all wonderful friends to so many people. You love people well. I know you have the grit in you and you have big dreams. Some of you have let go of some of the dreams that God put in your heart. And I'm here to be like, no, I believe we can do it. We can do it together. Autumn, thank you for your every minute. Can we take a picture with you and then say thank you and send you on your way to an amazing week? And
Of course.
everybody cheese it up for us. Got it. You guys unmute yourselves. Say thank you to Autumn.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Autumn. This was great.
Autumn.
Absolutely. And like Stephanie said, listen, guys, I'm a lover, I'm a helper, I'm a nurse. So that's just my second calling. If you guys need anything, if you have any questions, message me. At convention, if you see me, come say hello, all the things. I love making new besties. I'm happy to help however I can.
Thank you, friend. Have a great week. May March be the biggest ever.
Yes, girl.
Woo-hoo. Go for the pot of gold, ladies.
Thank you, friend. Bye.
Bye.